So, welcome to tomorrow. Yeah, it's technically still, I don't know, whatever. It's like 12:48 a.m., so technically still sort of the same day. I haven't been to bed yet, and I've made mistakes. Mistakes have been made. I know I'm jumping on the bandwagon here. This is not Fallout 4. It's Fallout New Vegas. Because on Steam, I have Fallout New Vegas. I don't have Fallout 3 for some reason. I thought I did. But I think I had Fallout 3 for Xbox 360, so I didn't get it for PC. I'm in this point where I can't justify buying the new game until I've played through the old one. I know I've played some of I think I've played New Vegas. It's not familiar to me though, so maybe we'll give it a shot and see. I can't stay up too much later though. Maybe I'll stay up for like a half an hour playing and then head to bed. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I'm not sure how long this is gonna last for me. I mean, it's not bad. It looks very much like an old game. Well, I mean, it's not like it's bad or anything. It's obviously an old game. Well, I will say, I kind of like the fact that it has an auto run feature that I can just kind of hit the button and let it do its thing, and that's about it. All right, that was all well and good. That was fun. I did just sort of the quick tutorial stuff there. Not sure how far I'm gonna make it into that game. It's just very hard to step back that far in time when I know there's something that is new and beautiful and very playable that I kind of want to play. Just don't know. I still haven't played GTA 5. Ugh, it's late. I gotta go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. It is actually morning. As you may notice, I'm wearing the same clothes that I was wearing last night. But it's morning, you know, I'm alive, alert, awake. Well, I'm alive and awake. And I'm having a little bit of breakfast. Bought these weird little turkey sausage, cheese, flatbread pocket things at the store. Not bad at all for I think it's 150 calories. Not bad. But it's about time for my morning meeting, so I've opened up my little link conversation, and the rest of my coworkers should be filing in the next 10 minutes or so. Well, that was relatively quick and painless. The grand majority of our morning meetings involve just everybody mentioning what they've been doing for the last day, and most of the time in my case it is working on the same thing I've been working on. I'm gonna try to wrap it up here in a couple of days. And that's true. Today's Thursday. Hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, I will have wrapped up the thing that I've been working on for so long. Wasn't really supposed to take all this long, but it was a little bit more involved than it probably should have been. And it's still not where I really want it to be, but for a first pass at it to get it working, and that's almost done at this point. So, woo! And as I was starting to mention earlier, because I completely got distracted there, wearing the same clothes, looking kind of disheveled because I actually haven't showered yet this morning. Kind of wanted to do that, just got out of bed, let's go ahead and start the day kind of thing. I normally won't turn the camera on until I've had a shower. Now that my morning meeting's over, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So I'll be back clean here in just a second. All right, showered, clean, all ready to go. And I'm even sporting my uber fancy new XDA shirt that I got at DroidCon this year. Surprisingly enough, after washing it, it still does fit, although just barely. Just another reminder that I've definitely got to lose about 30 pounds. And no, it's not going well. Also, continuing to test the Droid Turbo 2. I made the unboxing video about it over on the Tool.tv channel a little while back. I managed to get it down to 1%. And hooked up this Tron Smart charger to it using the Quick Charge 2.0 port and charged it absolutely no problem. It popped up and said turbo charging, so very pleased with that. And additionally, I went out and checked the mailbox before I got in the shower. Amazon has been doing these lightning deals every day. It's sort of a build up to Black Friday thing. And they had micro SD cards from Sony on sale. 64 gigs, I think was 17 or 18 bucks. And this is not a micro SD card, it's a micro SD 70 megabytes per second card, meaning I can actually use it in the DJI Osmo and use it at full speed doing 4K video and everything. Shouldn't have any problems. Because 4K video is 60 megabits per second. Megabits, megabytes, I don't really know. This should be more than fast enough. And actually, random topic change here, but the vlogs have immediately proved themselves to be really, really useful. Because I was over here looking at the vlogs that I've done and just sort of scrolling back through, and I happened to see the Beach Boys concert video, which I've got pulled up right here. And it just, like I said, the value of these vlogs, for me, personal value, has immediately shown itself. Because now I can go back and see what we did this day. You know, here's all the cars that me and my dad got to see, the nasty, horrible pizza that we ate that was so delicious, and then the Beach Boys concert, little snippets from it. After having done these daily videos for almost 100 days now, a little over 3 months, I can definitely say that even if it's not something that you're going to want to turn into a long-term thing, do something with your videos. Because I don't know how many people I've seen where they'll make just a quick little snippet of video and then they'll kind of throw it away. They'll stick it on a hard drive, they'll leave it on their phone, they don't share it anywhere, they don't put it anywhere, and it just kind of sits there and rots. I've actually got an entire folder on a couple of my hard drives. I've got backups, but a folder just full of what I call movies. And they're just little home movies that I've made over the years that I've never shared out until I started doing these daily vlogs. And I mean, now, like you saw over the weekend, we went to visit my parents, we got to see my nieces and nephew, we got to hang out with my granny for a little while, and I got footage of all of that, and I was able to share it with you guys. But it's also something that I was able to put together into a video that I can go back and watch, that my son can go back and watch. As an example, unfortunately, someday my grandmother is going to pass away. Now I have a little bit of video footage of her. I kind of wish that I would have held on to the originals. Normally when I'm making these vlogs, I put everything into a folder, I edit the video, I render the video, and upload the video, and once it's up and it looks good, I go ahead and delete all the original files. I know that's not a very bright idea, but after having done videos for like 6 years now, if I hadn't done that, I would have every single hard drive that I own would be completely packed full. As it stands, they're not. But that is one day where I really wish that I would not have deleted all the originals, because it would have been nice to have the original footage of my grandmother and my dad sitting there on the porch swing talking. Life lessons, I suppose. That was great. As I was sitting here talking to you guys a second ago, I got a tweet that came in from James CL. He said, "You know you rich as F when you get in hotel haircuts." And it's like, I hadn't even thought of it that way. And yes, that was expensive. Total transparency here. The total that we paid for those haircuts yesterday was $104. But Christina got her eyebrows waxed and shaped and everything. She got the shampoo plus haircut, and then she got some sort of a hair product on top of it. So her stuff alone was like $50 or $60. Duncan and I on top of it, I think, were like $30 together. So technically, it wasn't really that much more expensive than Duncan and I just going to get our cheapo haircut at the Supercut haircut place down the corner. And we got actually quite a bit better haircuts there, so I may go back there next time. I like the girl that cut our hair. I like the haircut. She used a razor on me. I wish that I'd been capturing the footage of me getting a haircut, because she used like a straight razor to shave up my neck and to do little bits of my hair. Really interesting. Maybe if we do it again, I'll pull out the camera while she's cutting my hair, or have Christina hold it or something. Or have Duncan hold it, our new little vlogger. So it's a little while later, and no, haven't had lunch yet or anything, but I was looking through comments. I think I was actually looking through the comments on the Beach Boys vlog I was just talking about. And I saw Cyan, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong, but he was talking about Matthew Santoro's videos. He's a large part of the reason why I'm using this camera, the Canon Vixia Mini X. I hadn't been back to his channel in quite a long time, so I hadn't noticed that he's actually switched to using the Sony RX100. I was using the RX100 before I was using this camera, and I was just kind of going back and forth between his videos, and I think I may actually prefer his videos from the Vixia Mini X, partially because I'm using the Vixia Mini X, but just putting them up side by side, here's one from the Vixia Mini X. You can see he's holding it at a very comfortable angle, and he can get everybody in the car around him in the shot. Whereas this one, he's holding it about the same angle, maybe a little farther out, and he's just barely able to get his head in the frame. Now, the video quality on the RX100, he's using, I think, the RX100 Mark III or Mark IV, probably the Mark IV, and it's excellent. It's a beautiful camera. The RX100 Mark I is a very similar camera. That's what I've got. But the RX100 Mark I doesn't have quite as wide an angle lens as the Mark III and Mark IV, and it doesn't have the flip-out screen. But really, you get a bit better video quality out of it. You don't get better audio quality. Between the two, they sound kind of similar, and I think the directional mics on this Vixia Mini might actually be better. But for me, the biggest thing is just I'm able to very comfortably, very easily hold this in my hand about a foot away from my face right now, and I'm not distorted, I'm not bubbled out. The things over in that area of the room, you can actually see my entire bookshelf right now without me having to do anything more than just sit here with the camera. Whereas on the RX100, if I were holding it like this, you'd be able to see my head, and that'd be about it. So that was a decision I made very early on. When I started deciding to do this thing daily, I was using the RX100, and it's a great camera. It's beautiful, and I love the fact you can get 60 frames per second video out of it. So I definitely do miss that, and honestly, after I saw that he'd made the change, I went back and started looking through the Amazon warehouse deals on the RX100 Mark III again, just just out of curiosity, but I cannot justify paying that amount of money for another camera when realistically I probably ought to be doing this on a cell phone or just continue using this. Basically, the way that I see it, I'm going to keep using the Vixia Mini X until something drastically better comes along. Something very easy to stabilize that doesn't require an external audio adapter, because I thought the DJI Osmo was going to be that for me. It's got a decently wide angle lens, an f2.8 aperture lens that's like 110 degree field of view or something like that, but it's kind of awkward to hold, and I have to have an external microphone to actually use it, and it gets really, really loud. So that's not going to be a vlogging camera for me, unfortunately. And like I said, I could go to the RX100 Mark III, but that'd be paying like $700 for a camera that I've effectively already got, but adding on a flip screen and a slightly wider angle lens. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Plus, having to hold it so much farther away, the audio is going to be a little bit worse just because you're holding it farther away. The mic can't really reach you as well, because this one I'm super close to. I don't know, I'm focusing entirely too much on the hardware to use for vlogging as opposed to just actually doing it, I suppose. But as you guys have seen, when I'm making these videos, I sort of use whatever camera I have around. I've used smartphones, I've used the LG Leon when I had it when I was running. I've used my Nexus 5X, I will probably end up using the Droid Turbo 2 a little bit while I've got it here for the next week or so. I don't know, realistically, potentially the best option would be if I could use that little Kumba Cam stabilizer with a smartphone, but smartphone audio is just not very good. I haven't come across many smartphones that actually have a good microphone in them. Anyway, I have migrated to the kitchen. I'm gonna have to eat something. Sorry, backlit. Hey, better angle. I'm gonna have to eat something now, even though I'm not terribly hungry yet. Anyway, it's lunchtime. Anyway, I got off on a weird tangent there earlier. What I was trying to say is I'm gonna continue using the Vixia Mini X for now, but I might just end up actually picking up the RX100 Mark III, Mark IV, I don't know, when it gets close to Christmas time, because we're gonna be going into the hospital to have baby. And while this does excellent video, I would really rather have much, much higher quality video like you get out of the RX100, and having that wider angle and the flip, all that stuff would be really convenient and be able to give me something that's a little closer to DSLR quality without having to carry a massive DSLR lunches done. And actually, I am sitting on some Amazon gift cards, and I'll have another Amazon gift card coming in. I get one per month for affiliate referral type stuff. So by the time the middle of December comes, I may actually be able to sort of do that and pool with other stuff and work out getting the RX100 Mark III or maybe Mark IV. I'm just gonna have to budget everything. That's actually one of the weird things about doing this YouTube thing, earning money for doing stuff on the internet, is I technically have to do taxes. Not something that's terribly obvious, but if a company sends you money and it's over a certain amount, you actually have to report it on your taxes. I don't think that I've earned enough this year to push us into a new tax bracket or anything, but I have a day job, Christina has a day job, and then I earn money from stuff I do on the internet. There could potentially come a day where it does become a problem, but because the grand majority of the money I earn is reinvested in the channel, it, for the most part, shows that we don't really make all that much money, because the majority of stuff that I end up buying for the channel gets deducted on our taxes. So while I may bring in a certain amount, I lose a certain amount as well, because, you know, buying things like DSLRs and new cameras, computers and phones and whatever else, those things are tax write-offs, and I'm okay with that. And if all goes well, we may have a new little tax deduction in our house before the year is up. That would be very, very nice, because, again, don't know if you're really aware of it or not, but here in the States, each child you have is a tax deduction, so you get a certain amount back on your taxes every year based upon that, meaning you either don't have to put in as much ahead of time, or you get that much as a refund at the end of the year. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be naming our second child tax deduction keys. Not really. You know what? I'm starting to get concerned. I woke up this morning with a tickle, with just a little bit of a twinge in my nose, and I've got a feeling that I'm about to get a sinus infection. The weather is changing, it's getting cooler, that's what happens every single time. So I'm definitely have to make sure that I'm on my allergy pills every day. Come on, mustard. Excuse you. But yeah, I need to make sure that I'm on my allergy pills every day, try to keep things dried out. I may preemptively start taking a stronger antihistamine or a decongestant, because like I said, I'm feeling that tingling that I'm gonna be sick in the next 2 days kind of thing. I don't want that. Ain't nobody wants that, especially if I'm doing this. You know, I'm gonna keep going back and forth on this, and I don't want this entire video to be about the cameras. But while I'm sitting here eating my lunch, I've been watching a Matthew Santoro video. Actually, one where he was talking about clickbait titles and all caps titles. That's something I've done a little bit of myself, and I've tried not to. You do have to grab attention. And when you are a channel his size, you don't have to do it quite so much. When you're somebody small channel like me, for one, I'm doing this just for fun. But two, it would be kind of nice if the channel grew. It'd be kind of nice if this is something that my whole family could embrace, that could be something for us to do, something that would help sustain the family, that's not just me making tech videos. Anyway though, what I was getting at is, as I was watching this video, you see how beautiful the footage is, but then as soon as he moves, everything's out of focus, and it takes a couple of seconds. You didn't even see what that really said. It was all out of focus. He shows his bag here in a second, and when he does it very quickly, yeah, there you go, the bag's out of focus, back to him, in and out of focus. That's a large part of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of using a camera like that. Even though it's beautiful footage when it's good, it can be really bad footage when it's not. This camera doesn't go out of focus all that much because everything is in focus all the time. Total honesty here, that's a large part of the reason. See the camera there in the background? That's the Sony FDR AX33 4K camera. It's a camcorder. And that's a large, huge part of the reason why I'm using that instead of using a DSLR, which is now sitting on the shelf over there. Because the DSLR, it is so ridiculously easy to get it out of focus. You can get some amazing, beautiful shots with the DSLR, but with that, I know it's going to be in focus pretty much every time. It might take me just a second to get it in focus if I'm viewing something really up close on the camera, but for the most part, when I'm shooting videos with that, I don't have to worry about focus. I don't have to set manual focus. I just let it go. And with something like this, again, this is a camcorder, so technically, I just let it go. If I do something like this where I cover up the camera, you can see my hand is now in focus, but it immediately comes back. It's not having to refocus at all. Everything's in focus all the time. I've been going on for entirely too long about this. Point being, yes, I realize this camera, the wide angle, fish angle thing, is not great for everybody, but it's so ridiculously convenient. I don't see myself moving away from it anytime soon until it becomes time to have the baby, in which case I may just take the original RX100 and use that for just the footage of the baby and the stuff in the hospital to really thoroughly capture it in beautiful 1080p 60. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments though what you think as far as cameras are concerned. I know there have been several people that really don't like the fisheye bubble of this lens. There's been a lot of people that say they like it because you can see so much more at a time. You can see what's going on in the background of everything. It gives you more of an immersive feel. And of course, you're not up here on my face all the time, which you would be with the RX100. If I were holding it at this angle, you would be completely up in my grill right now. So let me know how important it is to you. For most people, I know audio is really the most important thing, and this does some excellent audio. Plus, it's got the mic jack that I never even use, but it's nice to have it. I don't know. I'm gonna move on with my day. Let me know what you guys think, though.
Hello, we are going to get Ginger.
Yes, we are. Ginger has been at the vet all day. Little man just got home. Show him your shirt. That's a super cool shirt. Who's on it?
R2-D2.
R2-D2. Tonight, hopefully, we'll get a chance to watch the next Star Wars installment. Star Wars Episode 2.
We couldn't watch it last night.
Yeah, we couldn't watch it last night. We were busy. But that's okay, because we got lots of time. But for now, Ginger has been at the vet. She's been, actually, I think she's getting groomed today. We gotta go pick her up now, so let's go.
Hello, we just got Ginger.
There she is with her new haircut. Oh, she's ready to go home.
Yep, pretty much.
You ready to go home?
Yeah.
Shows a weird angle. You gotta hold it up. Yeah, there you go.
I don't really know how to hold the camera.
You're holding it right now.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Maybe a little farther away. You're gonna look like a bubble. That's better. You'll be a vlogger soon enough.
Yep.
All right, we're home. She's free and she has short hair now. She looks a little less like a mop and more like a dog. She looks an awful lot like a dog.
Not like a banana.
Smells good.
Smells
She
like
also
a dog.
does not look like a banana anymore.
Except for her breath still stinks. But
I think I'll fix that.
Oh, her feet.
did they clip her toenails? Yes, they did. Yay.
Look at her other toenail.
Ew.
Random off topic. That's a little bit of a bummer though. I may not be buying the OnePlus X. There's an article here on The Verge called "Don't Buy the OnePlus X in the US." Basically saying that because the way OnePlus built the OnePlus X, it's not going to support LTE. They're moving a bench in the kitchen. It's not going to work on LTE in most places in the US on AT&T and T-Mobile. I'm on AT&T and T-Mobile. And I don't know if I'm in one of the places where they use the 700 megahertz spectrum, but is it really worth spending $250 to get a device that may not work on LTE for me? I don't know. Possibly. I'll have to think about it. Woo, food. I'm a big fan of food.
Burn
there's-
grilled cheese. We all got burned grilled cheese because I had the burner on this side for this little pan. Supposed to use that side.
Oh, oops.
And so I couldn't figure out why the thing was getting so hot so fast.
Right.
It was because I had it on the wrong setting.
Uh-oh. Oh well.
So they're all.
It's not bad. I've definitely seen worse. The house did not catch fire, so not bad. And then we've got what, the Panera soup?
Panera tomato
Creamy tomato soup. Mmm.
Half. One whole partitioned into 2 equal shares. Is it half? Draw an X on the shapes that do not show half.
It's time to do some homework. Now, you're probably not going to be able to see it from here. I've got it really, really far zoomed in, but last time I checked, I'm pretty sure it's November. And those are Christmas lights. All right, it's been a few days. What are we doing? Yeah, we're going to play some Rocket League, right? Mm-hmm. Rocket League.
I paused it.
He paused it. And he is playing as the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Not that he knows what that is yet. We'll watch that eventually. Not quite yet.
What is it?
It's a time machine
I didn't
from
know
a
that.
movie called Back to the Future.
Hey, yeah. I don't know that movie.
You haven't seen it yet,
Hey.
but you'll see it someday. All right, that's kind of exciting. Duncan and I play a lot of Rocket League, and I've just started looking around. I've been looking for this since I bought the game, but there's apparently a way to play like this. Split screen, multi-screen like this. So I can come down to, we'll join with both controllers. See, I got both down there. Hit exhibition, go down to create match. And I went ahead and set it to be split like this. So now each of us get our own screen. Pity that I'm always gonna have to be player 2 now, but that's really not that big a deal as far as I'm concerned. That's pretty awesome. And Duncan loves playing Rocket League, but on these monitors where they're relatively small, it's a little daunting for us both to be playing at the same time on one small screen. Now we've got 2. Apparently she's a fan of the Osdom M08s.
They sound good.
Yeah. A little bit loud. A little bit loud. Watching some pentatonics. Wow, everything's kind of yellow in here. I blame that light. Evolution of Michael Jackson.
Love Michael Jackson. Love pentatonics.
So it's a good
Good combo.
Yeah. Well, poop. Last week, when I was talking about making the XDA news video, somebody asked if I would be interested in, or if I'd be willing to, do a time lapse of me scripting, filming, editing, rendering, blah, blah, blah. All of the pieces that actually take time of making the XDA news video. And I thought about it after I'd already scripted it while I was filming it. I was like, wait, I was supposed to be time-lapsing this. Oops. Sorry about that. The next time I do one, I will attempt to remember to do that. But anyway, the XDA video is done. It is rendering at this point. So now it's just a matter of waiting and then uploading and of course finishing this video. So yeah, I think we're gonna be wrapping up. I'm gonna be coming to the end of the night. The XDA video is uploaded at this point. I went ahead and pulled all the footage in from today, including the stuff that I recorded late last night. I've got about 30 minutes of footage. Oops. So I'm gonna go through that and I'm gonna see what everything is. I actually have 29 minutes, 39 seconds of footage, plus this. Yeah, all told, everything edited up to this very point, I am at 22 minutes. So I probably gotta go ahead and wrap things up. Unless I decide to take out all that stuff about cameras earlier. I talked about... Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll continue this in tomorrow's video because it's like 11:30 now. So we will see you again tomorrow, or in a very few seconds if you're me. Bye guys.